Hey there, Juan Morales here, and in today's episode, we're going to talk about something that's very powerful, especially for entrepreneurs and people that are leading any sort of other people in a project, in a work environment, or whatever it is. Now, here's what I've noticed, especially with people who are selling information type products and digital products, if you will. The method is you first build a tribe and then you sell stuff to that tribe. Right? The tribe is sometimes called the list, or it could be a group, or whatever you want to call it, but in essence, you're creating a tribe. But more importantly, what you have to understand is that you're the leader of this tribe now. And as a leader, the big distinction that I want you to get today is that you don't copy other people's leadership styles. You have your own already. And that one, you just have to trust that it'll come out the right way for you. And one of the biggest challenges that I see many people do when it comes to this, and people struggle with these challenges all the time, is the fact that they want to copy someone else's leadership style. So if they're listening to me, if they're following me, they want to copy what I'm doing. If they're following someone else, they want to follow and copy what those guys are doing. But at the end of the day, what ends up happening is we are leading, but not from where we are, but from where we think they are, which is different. Instead of trusting our own leadership style, our own methods and mechanisms, and everything that we use naturally when we're put in a leadership position, we default to other people's methods and other people's strategies. And that usually turns out to be extremely counterproductive, because not only are we outside of our normal way of operating, but at the end of the day, we are pretending. We are pretending, let's say, to have a tough approach, when in reality, that's not the way that we lead. Or vice versa, right? That we may have a very aggressive personality, and when we're put in a leadership position, it's about being hard on people, but then we decide that we want to do it in a soft way. Now, let me explain why this is such a big issue and why it hurts people so much. Every time that you're choosing someone else's leadership style over yours, you remember that. Not actively, but somehow you do remember that. And it starts to build up inside of you as a sense of, the reason it's not working is because I followed this other person's advice. So it creates a bitterness. It puts the blame on someone else, which is the number one problem when dealing with leadership, is that the blame is on you, not on other people. So if you're really leading from the right place, you're not looking for other people as scapegoats. And the fact that you're using someone else's leadership style creates a natural scapegoat there, because it's their style that's going to fail. So my suggestion to you, and my challenge to you, is that you trust your own leadership style. And what do I mean by this? Well, leadership styles come in different ways, and different people have different styles and different ways of expressing them and engaging other people and enrolling other people to work with them or to shepherd a project forward, or whatever the thing is. But you have to trust the way that you do it. You have to trust the way that you do it way more than you trust anybody else's way of doing it, because the way that you do it is what makes you unique. And when you trust that inner leadership style and you allow it to come out and you allow it to help you, then you'll realize how valuable it was that you were the one leading the project, versus having some sort of bland carbon copy of someone else's style that does not fit the way that you behave. So, in a way, what I'm really telling you to do is to give yourself permission to be yourself. Right? No apologies, no nothing. It's the way that you lead. It's the way that you do it. And that's where you have to operate from, because if you're always copying someone else's leadership style and thinking that by copying their leadership style, you're going to have the same results, well, guess what? You're not. Why? Because at the end of the day, when the pressure really mounts, when there's a lot of things on the line, it is inevitable that your natural leadership style is going to push through and come out. So let's think about it. If in the first, let's say you're taking a slow approach to a project. You're a very tough person. You have a tough management style. You have a tough project leadership style. And you decided that you want to do a softer approach because someone told you that it would be a good idea for you to have a soft approach. Well, guess what? At some point, when the pressure builds up enough and you have a deadline and it's late and you have to get it done, what do you think you're going to revert to? Do you think you're going to still pretend that you're a soft-spoken person, or do you think you're really going to bring out the hammer? My personal experience and those of my clients has always been that the truth shows up when the pressure's on the line. So why is that the thing that we are going to use as a last resort instead of using it as the first thing that we look for? Because it's our style and it's the way that we do things. Most employees, when you're working with a team, if they see you as this soft-spoken person and then all of a sudden they see the very tough leader, they're thrown back because that's not what they signed up for. They did not know that that's how you were going to react. Whereas if you're always in your leadership style, and it's always the fact that, when a push comes to shove, that's how you behave, then you have a consistency that allows your team members to know what they're dealing with and allows them to take actions with more certainty because they know what they're doing is right, and they also know that you're leading them in your own way. So again, a big concept is to trust yourself. Give yourself permission to be yourself. Give yourself permission to lead like yourself. We've all had this at some point in our lives, regardless of how many ways we want to think that we're not a leader. We have had to lead at some point. And when we're left to lead other people, whether it's taking care of younger siblings, whether it's taking care of younger cousins, whether it's taking care of a goldfish, okay? We take a stance. We become something because it's our inner leadership that's showing up. Now, most people are told to distrust that and push it away because that's what creates rebel attitudes and stuff like that. So we're told not to trust it. But now, when you're in the entrepreneurial world, it is your leadership style that's going to allow you to get as far as you can. Because that leadership style is about enrolling other people into doing certain things that you want, is about getting clients, is about moving projects forward, is about believing and doing all these things. And that style is unique for everyone. I've actually had clients where I speak to them and they tell me what motivates them, and none of those things motivate me. But that's okay. As long as they know what motivates them and I know what motivates me, then we're good. The problem is if they don't know what motivates them and all they know is what motivates me, now they're thinking that they can only be motivated by the things I'm motivated by. And they can only express themselves the way I express myself. So take advantage of this. See this as an opportunity to show yourself how much of a leader you can really become if you allow and trust that part of yourself to come out. Till next time, this is Juan Morales signing out. I'll see you on the next one.